Good evening and welcome to my latest video. We've had Job Seeker, Job Keeper, and now we have Home Builder. And I guess I've been getting phone calls, and we all have the last week since the speculation of this incentive or this grant has been brought into public by the media through leaks or what have you. Thank God we've got two-party bipartisanship at the moment, don't we? The political games are all starting, and you can imagine where the leaks have come from. So we haven't wanted to deal on speculation and innuendo with this particular scheme. We know it was being thought about because it was part of the National Cabinet, but we've waited for the detail. And that's why I always promise you guys that I'll go to the detail and find out the information. So what I want to do tonight, very quickly, just to give you some information, is to go into the proper Treasury document. So let's go into that now, and I'll just share my screen with you. So this is hot off the press from the Treasury. Now, same area where I used to get a lot of my coronavirus stuff. So it is part of the coronavirus part of stimulus. So this is the next installment. So it's not 50,000, it is 25,000. So let's go through and work out exactly what it is, who's entitled to it, and what you got to do to get it. Right, so what is it? It's a time-limited grant, okay? So that means it's not a dollar amount limited grant. It's a time-limited grant. So you got to be in it to win it by the time it sort of expires. So here we go. It will provide eligible owner-occupiers, okay? Very important, owner-occupiers. We'll go through it in a second, including first-home buyers. So it doesn't mean just first-home buyers. This could be your 20th house. It doesn't matter. With a grant of 25,000, grants necessarily, you start to think to yourself, okay, well, that's just free money. This is free money. It's non-taxable income. It's money that you can use towards the payment for the house construction or the renovations. Now, very important, to build a new home or substantially renovate. So let's look at what that means. And there's some definitions. An existing home where the contract is signed. So there needs to be a contract, okay? Now you'll go for, if you start to look at how that reads now, what does that mean? Can home builders do that? Let's look at that in a second. Signed between 4th of June. So from today to 31st December, to the end of the year, 2020, construction must commence within 3 months of the contract date, which means that if you sign on New Year's Eve, you can still start constructing by March 31, and you will still be eligible for the grant, provided that you are in the eligibility criteria. So this is on top of any other grants that the state or territories are providing. So first homeowners and that sort of stuff. Okay, we're not talking about that. There's a separate grant. Eligibility. Okay, this will knock out a lot of clients who've already called and own properties and trusts and companies and so forth. You are a natural person, not a company or a trust. Okay, we know that. Don't have to explain it to you. You're 18 years or older, which is natural because pretty much, unless things have changed, you've got to be 18 to own property. You're an Australian citizen. Okay, that's not tax citizen. That is proper legal citizenship. Okay, so people who don't have Aussie citizenship can't even get that. So if you've got all your property in a trust, you can't do it. Don't read any further. If you're under 18, you can't do it. Don't read any further. If you're not an Australian citizen, you can't do it. Don't read any further. Then, if you pass those 3 tests, this is the income caps. So it's based upon the 19 tax returns that we all should have lodged. That's right. You all should have lodged, although we got to the 15th of June, I believe. But anyway, 19 tax returns. If you have the property and it's only yourself, if you're applying on your own, your income must not be more than $125,000. Now it says income caps. It doesn't tell me whether that's taxable income, gross assessable income. I guess that'll be clarified a bit later. I'm assuming that it's taxable income. So that's on your tax return. That's gross that's before you paid the actual tax bill on that. Now, if you're in a couple, couple. What does that mean? Co-owners? Do you have to be in a couple? It's very misleading but 200,000 per annum per couple based upon the tax return of the 2019 year. So it's 200 grand if you're in two. I can't speculate more than that. That's about it. You enter into a building contract for June 31 December. I said that already. Now, you have to build a new home as your PPR, as your principal place of residence, not as a rental or anything like that, where the property value does not exceed 750. So you're building a house where the property value does not exceed 750, or substantially renovate your existing home, but has to be a principal place of residence. Again, I don't think it says here how long after you renovate it has to be a principal place of residence. It just has to be a principal place of residence, where the renovation contract is between 150,000 and 750. Therefore, your small renovations aren't included. Your air conditioning units, your little sparky stuff. No, it's got to be between 150 and 750. So that's trying to stimulate the economy. And if you think about it, if you're going to use $25,000 as a massive incentive to go out and go, you know what? It's time to renovate our house. And we're talking about a $750,000 renovation. Is $25,000 going to be the catalyst for you to enter into that contract? Hey, the ATO or the Treasury have done their numbers and they think that's the case. I don't know. I don't think, people are going to have different opinions on that. If you're going to build a house anyway, great. If you were thinking you're on the fence about building a house, pardon the pun, would you now do it because you're going to get 25,000? Well, I don't know. I'm a realist. I'm a person who loves capital growth and property. So you always build property for its own merits. So anyway, I'm just here to tell you what the law is, not my opinion. Sorry about that. So construction must commence within 3 months of the contract date. Okay. So it's going to be implemented through a partnership with the states and the Commonwealth government. Not too important about that. It's going to cost $680 million. So there's a recovery bit of the JobKeeper underpayment. Let's go through a couple of quick scenarios. I really want to get onto some frequently asked questions, but let's look at this. So these two, Emma and Liam, we're going to say they're a couple, entered into a house and land contract for $550,000 in September 2020, which is in those 2 dates. The bank applies on the couple's behalf. So obviously the banks can probably do this now for you. That's what it sounds like. So you probably don't have to do it yourself to receive the $25,000 grant. There's all the checks that happen and the confirmation that they are Australian citizens over 18, yada, yada. And the value of the contract is under the 750 contract price cap. So they'll get the amount. And they're also first homeowners, so they'll probably get that grant as well. This other one here, they're basically going into a contract to renovate the home. The value of the home at the moment before the renovation was $900,000, which is within the limit. So, for example, that means if we go back up again, if the house was worth 1.5. So if the property was worth 1.5 or more, then you're out. Okay, so you just there's a lot of limits there. So if you've got a house that's less than 1 million, 1.5, and then you go say, okay, I want to, I don't know, what are you going to pay for 150,000? A pool, deck, whatever. Then you're okay, provided you meet those other scenarios. Okay, so but if your house is already up there over 1.5, you're out. So now what I want to also look at, there's some more bits and pieces here. You can knock your house down and rebuild. That's not a problem as long as you live in it. You can do this 1,000 times. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have never had a house before. So these guys here have already had a block of land that they had, and they're going to build a home on it. No problem. That's okay. All right. This is very important. Owner builders and those seeking to build a new home or renovate an existing home as an investment property are ineligible for home builder. All right. So you have to go get somebody to build it for you. And it says here too, you got to meet with people at arm's length. So, don't do any dodgy deals and get the extra 25 and just do some other little split so you put in your pocket independently. It's got to be market value. It's got to be registered. It's got to be performed by a registered licensed building company contractor. Okay, what's this saying? The renovation works must be to improve the accessibility, safety, and livability, of the dwelling. It cannot be for additions to property such as swimming pools. There you go. Sorry about that. Tennis courts, outdoor spa, saunas, sheds, garages. Look at that. So we can't put a pool in. Sorry, guys who are thinking about doing that straight away with this money. So what are you going to do? Improve the accessibility, safety, livability of the dwelling. All right, $150,000. So start your thinking caps. Builder clients out there, start your thinking caps. You guys know more than me. What does that mean? So you got $150,000 to $700,000. It's got to be anything that improves accessibility, safety, and livability of the dwelling. But don't go out and do a swimming pool, tennis court, spa, sauna, sheds. So the first thing I would have thought is, put a garage on. Now, can we brick in the garage potentially? But it says here we can't have garages unconnected to the property. So I don't know. Let's have a look. Maybe if you've got a carport and you get council approval and connect to your house, that could be something. Converting a room into something else looks like it's going to provide the livability. So there are carve-outs. It's not just going to be this thing. And I don't know why that's the case, because, a swimming pool manufacturer or swimming pool entity, or someone who does tennis courts, construction, or spas, why don't they get the benefit of this? I don't know. It's to me, it's probably not enough in my opinion, and I think there's too many carve-outs. Did I just say I'm not going to give you my opinion? Sorry. Let's go into this other area here, HomeBuilder. Now this is just this is the frequently asked question. So assessing HomeBuilder, how do you do it? It's tax-free, like I said. So how can I access it? It's going to be available for building contracts. There must be a sort of format we can actually do. I think the builders out there, you guys are going to be provided those papers potentially from the master builders or HIA. It looks like banks, if you're getting finance, will have information about it. When will I receive it? It'll be paid by the statement. Well, that doesn't really tell me anything about when I receive it. Thank you very much for that. It's very vague. Just will be paid. Okay. So what? The first month, second month, at the end of the program, who knows? All right, goes back to here again. And we're eligible, natural people. So company trusts are out, 18 are over, Australian citizen, and you've got those 125 taxable income or 200,000, depending on your, status, whether you're doing as one or two people. And so remember, the big dates are today and 31st of December is the end, and it's got to be signed within that period, and construction has to be within 3 months of that date. Okay, so again, it's talking about owner builders can't do it, and you can't use investments. So you can't just fix up your investment property. I'm sorry. Is there a limit to how many people get the home builder? No, it's uncapped. So just get in there, as long as you get in there. So there's no, having to rush in and get it. It's not going to run out like other grants that have happened recently. We're not going to name them many because there's a few that I'm very disappointed about. But yeah, so you can think about it, and then come September, October, get into it, provided you're okay and you meet those criteria. You're fine. I already own land, I haven't signed a contract. Are you eligible? Yes, of course you are. There's no difference. What types of dwellings, which is really good. This is not a carve out. All dwelling types, house, apartments, house and land package off the plan are eligible. Okay, so, but it's got to be an owner occupier, and it's got to be substantially renovating existing dwelling that you live in. So it can't be go buy a brand new one. So it has to renovate their existing dwelling. So you can't go buy a house, and that's what looks like to me, that you can't go and buy something that's a bit of a doer-upper and then get the grant. Price caps. We've got those price caps we spoke about, the 750. So no tax. What renovations? Okay, let's read more into this. To be eligible for home builder, the renovations must be between 150 and 750. Total of the value of your house and land must not exceed 1.5 million. And construction must commence for 3 months. Yes, we know that now. Okay, we've spoken about that. The must be done by a licensed registered builder. If you're not a first home buyer, you can still get it. How do you apply? Again, there must be some forms that you'll get. What documentation? Proof of ID, copy of the contract, builder registration, tax return. Just see me for that. You'll get that off us. Approvals. How will I know? Relevant state territory will notify you. That's great. What happens if HomeBuilder is not successful? Can I appeal? Yes. I guess you probably can. Yep. Change of circumstances, who pays, implementation, integrity measures. Okay, so integrity measures are basically saying who's doing something to, I guess, make them more eligible or not, and don't have the real undertaking on this now. And this is why I think they're talking about, the livability and dwelling cannot be for additions to property such as swimming pool, tennis court. So, I think you guys are clever enough to understand that what it means by is that you can't automatically get a swimming pool, but the invoice that you show the government is that you've just renovated your kitchen. Okay, so that's why it's got to be arm's length. So people are going to be looking into this, like everything they give out. So that's the HomeBuilder. So hopefully that was useful. Again, Treasury website, give me a call, give the team a call. I know there's going to be millions of questions. I really think there's a great opportunity for our contractor, our builder clients out there to really get on the front foot. It's been really important during COVID that that if you've been on the front foot, you've been very successful and you get a lot of runs on the board. So I definitely think that, guys, come and have a chat, even if it's a Zoom meeting, and say, okay, how can we strategize about this? How do we reverse engineer packages to do that? Is there any clients in the past that you have put things on hold that said, oh, rainy day or whatever? Is it the time to make that phone call and go, hey, I've been looking through my job quotes and I noticed that you said you're going to put this on hold. Well, pretty much I think that you're going to be okay to get 25,000. That might mean that you can go, you wanted that extra package. Now you can get the 2-pack kitchen cabinets rather than the laminated ones that you could have had before, or whatever. Start using some more marketing sense. People who want to go on and use this, now how it is to apply. But guys, as I said, we're all here about the taxpayer and also our business clients. So if you are in the construction industry, we have a lot of information to help our construction family to get ahead. So please come and see us. There's a lot of tools that I can provide you guys with as well. So that's the HomeBuilder, and hopefully that's giving you enough information to cut out the noise, to get right down to the real detail of what's actually intended. And if there's anything that you hear that's outside of what I said, please don't. Please give me a call. Don't feel afraid not to say that. You're going to hear a lot of water cooler talk. So please let me know if it's something that you're not sure about. If I have answered, the team's ready to go to help out. So all the best, and I'll be in touch very, very soon. See ya.